Hmm. Hey guys, Mike Monty here. Been a while. I don't really know how long. I've done a couple of shorts here and there, and I recently sort of just was talking to myself, as you do, and realized that I really miss just chit-chatting with the camera and how that leads to talking back and forth through comments and answering questions and just getting that old YouTube vibe of hanging out with whoever's on the other side. So I'm making myself set up the camera, get the microphone that I haven't used in 3 years out, grab the yo-yo, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to be messing around with this trick that I've been attempting to work on for probably 4 months now. I mean, I've been doing some of these elements for a while now, but I'm not consistent at it yet. And when I do hit what I like, kind of like this thing, whatever this is, although it got double twisted that time. 1 second. Okay. So it should be something like that. I don't really know what I want to do from there. Like I could reject that loop off and do some slack stuff with it, but unfortunately I don't hit it consistently enough to like actually build from there. So every time I do hit it, it's just like, okay, I got there. Let's experiment and see what we can do. So like that. Like I don't want to do the rejection this time. I thought that maybe I could flip it over, then reject it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to talk. Like it is distracting to talk. Whoa, almost created a knot. I mean, I did create a knot. I just almost dropped it and made it permanent. Anyhow, I don't really know how much I want to talk, what I want to talk about. Um, I guess I could tell you what I've been up to. For the most part, I've been working on my eBay store, trying to build up my inventory. I've been going through my old Pokemon cards and listing them on there. I've been using OpenAI's Codex in VS Code to build a Pokemon card tool that I can like. I just take a bunch of top-down pictures of the cards, front in a sleeve, front out of sleeve, back out of sleeve, and I just do that for as many cards as I want. AirDrop them to the computer, put them in their own directory, import that directory into the tool I made, and it automatically detects the corners of the cards. And once it's detected the corners, it will warp the images flat, crop it to a square, identify the cards. It After that, it attempts to do a condition, like a card condition check. To ideally, once I've got, well, right now I have about 2,000 cards in my inventory. So my hope is that as I get more and more cards, and I've labeled more and more of them as near mint, played, or damaged, that if I train a model, well, I've already trained a model to attempt to identify the cards, and I don't really know how good it is because it feels like I correct it maybe a quarter of the time, but it's not that hard to just go, they're all played quality, and then I'm only correcting it when they're damaged or near mint. But I guess the hope is that once I've got a broad enough amount of pictures that have been labeled, have those three types, that when I do some follow-up training, that I'll get a model that can automatically detect card condition for me, which would be really neat because at the moment, that's like the last thing that I need to try and automate if possible. Everything else about the system's automated. Once I've got the card condition marked, then I can go in and I have a eBay listing page that I built I can that I've connected with my eBay account through their API, and it will automatically upload the cards to my store. Right before I do that, I have a recently completed sold listings thing that goes through every card and it searches for its name and its number and its set, and it tries to find like the the lightly played versions of a card, or the near mint versions of a card, or the damaged or heavily played versions of the card. It averages out what most of the items on that page sold for. It cuts off the top and bottom 10% just to kind of give us the middle average. And then my card prices are set within a quarter of whatever that average is. And then I automatically add them to my store. When I first started, I was much more involved in like individually taking pictures of all the corners and all the front and the back and the angle just to get like everything perfect. And I would research the card and I would write up a description and I would get the title just right. And it was getting to be like 10 to 15 minutes per card. And I've got several thousand. And I'm basically giving up some of that over the top attention to detail so that I can process faster. And the hope is that I'll have enough up that it'll be kind of like when I've attempted to write out what I'm doing, the analogy I come up with is this is like being on a fishing boat and I'm just casting lines in the water, and the more lines I cast, the more likely I am to catch the fish, to get the sale, to find a customer. So I have a eBay store set up for the 10,000 item limit, $60 a month to do that. So if I can make $60 a month selling cards, then it pays for itself, and at the moment it does. And I just want to try and work my way up to those 10,000 cards. And then I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll sell subscriptions to the system and let other people use it. I don't know. There are already systems out there that do what my system does. I don't know how good they are because I can't afford to pay for someone else's system, so I just built my own. Codex is only 20 bucks a month, so as long as I don't go over my weekly quota, I can just keep on going until I hit my quota. And it's stable enough where if I do run out of credits, I can still use the tool and still use it to run my store. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on for the past probably 8 months or so. It started off as individual scripts, like a price checking script and an identification script and the square cropping script. And over time, I got tired of running individual scripts and I started going, hey, we've got all these things. Can we put it together into a single application? And that was done in like 5 minutes and I felt like an idiot, but now I've got a tool that I can work with and I can iterate upon and improve. Yeah, every so often I hit that and it seems to work. Not that time. Need to adjust my string tension. So yeah, aside from that, I've been homeschooling my kids and I've been working on a homeschooling tool to make that easier on myself. And then I don't really know what else. Been reading a lot. I read Harry Potter with the kids. We are probably on our fourth round through the series. I need to stop reading it once we finish the seventh book again this time, and I want to switch over to the So You Want to Be a Wizard series because I really liked that as a kid, and I thought they might like it. I've also got the Redwall series that could be fun, and maybe some of Gary Paulson's. I think that's his name. He wrote the Transall saga. I liked that when I was their age. I've been reading a lot of that to them. Been doing a lot of my own reading. I read a book, well, one called The Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth. That was really good. I read The Big Print by Lawrence Lepard, I think is his last name. Kind of a cautionary tale about how inflation causes issues and his experience dealing with it over time. And he's a Bitcoin proponent, and I would consider myself a believer in that as well. So I'm naturally inclined to like it. Just got a bad knot. Aside from that, I stopped reading nonfiction recently and I switched over to a book called Accelerando, which I keep hearing about on the Moonshots podcast, which I usually listen to while I work. And I mean, I'm really liking the book, but it's like very adult and then very sci-fi and then very adult and then very sci-fi. And it's like, oh, I can't read this to my kids till they're 40, I guess. Anyhow, that's kind of top of mind, anything I can think about. We got my daughter Willow a butterfly kit for Christmas, and so I've got a bunch of caterpillars in clear containers on my desk. Hypothetically, I don't have to or shouldn't open these containers until they're in their cocoons and or chrysalises, and then I can move them to the pop-up butterfly tent that came with the kit. So that'll be interesting. I guess we get to release them once they become butterflies. They're painted lady butterflies. My mom ordered those in for her. So yeah, been fun. Um, Hope you guys have been well. I know that this isn't the original YouTube channel I used to do this stuff on. This is the one that I made after deleting all of my internet. I got rid of all social media. I don't have anything except for YouTube at this point. I mean, I technically have a Telegram, but I use that to chat with my open claw Carl, named after Carl Sagan, of course. And I'm mostly using him or it as my, I don't know what you would call it. I told it I wanted it to be an expert on me, and then we built it was a timeline app that I could just put all my stuff like journals and pictures and videos into and organize it by time. And recently we started calling it the Atlas, but I've dumped 1,100 journals, 200 something random unfinished essays and random writings and some life events and some pictures and stuff. And yeah, that's the only social media app I have, and I don't use it as a social media app. It's really just the channel I use to communicate with. Technically, it's uh, Codex 5.3 by OpenAI, and I've built kind of a personality on top of it. It's not perfect yet. I've installed it and completely erased it like 4 times, and this time I'm just trying to stick with it and see what happens. So yeah, it doesn't have a lot of internet access. Like it's not going to be publishing my journals or anything, but I just thought it would be interesting to be like, hey, can you tell me what I was up to the last year, or what are recurring things that I complain about, or given what I've written that you've analyzed, what are my biggest personality flaws, or what's something I could work on, or where do you think I should focus? Like, what are my strengths? Like, stuff I should know anyways, but I just thought it would be interesting to outsource a piece of getting the bird's eye view of the recorded portions of my life. I would also like to put all of my old trick videos into it. Not that it could analyze them, but I would go through and I would tag them so I know like these are the laceration videos, and these are the suicide catch videos, and these are the whip catch videos, and these are the slack videos. And then I could make giant compilations of videos, or here's all the best tricks from 2015 and 2025, and I don't know. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a dabbler, as Connor Price would say. I don't really do it, I dabble. All right, let me check and make sure this is recording. Okay, we've been going for 14 minutes now. I'll just keep on messing around for a while. I think I've said everything that I can think of saying, so whatever else comes out of my mouth is bonus points. I wonder how long it's going to take me to be able to do this part on purpose, where it always lands where I want it to. That was close. Sometimes I think the loop just hits it on the side and it doesn't grab, or it bounces out of the gap. I don't know why I'm doing this though, because it's like a lot of the tricks that I've done in the past, it just like they just feel like they come together on their own. And this one is just like I kept doing this, and I liked how got naturally undercut on its own. And then I was like, well, let's do the Yuki slack thing. And once you get there, I'm just trying to find a way to make it flow back and forth, but also use the slack and use the catches. And I don't know what I want to do with it. So I thought, hey, what a good excuse to turn the camera on and start talking to an audience again because I missed doing it. If you want to call yourself an audience, I don't know. I don't want to presume. You know, some people prefer to be called crazy. Um, Now I have Connor Price playing in my head. Normally, what I would do is I would turn on some music and I wouldn't talk and I would yo-yo until I landed something that looked cool enough to post to a short so that people who don't care about yo-yoing would watch my video. And I don't really want to, I don't feel like being an entertainer for the masses. I mean, it's kind of cool when something you make goes viral and a lot of people watch it and you're just like, wow, that's awesome. But also, they go away as soon as they come. They don't give a shit about the hobby. A lot of them talk shit about you in the comments, like, look at this dude, look at this adult still playing with toys. It's just like, yeah, well, you're playing video games and I'm actually building shit, so why am I getting defensive about it? I don't know. It's just, I would prefer to show what I'm working on to people who know how hard it is to do this stuff and who might be like, hey, that's interesting. I saw someone else do something like that. Go check this out. It'll might give you ideas. Or, oh, that's cool. But what if you like did an undercut or you did a rejection or you did a whip or like the general public isn't going to know what that is. And for the most part, they just want to see you do that shit. And I don't like that shit. That's pandering. I don't like pandering. I don't know why. Because it makes my string tension messed up. That's why. Anyways. Anyhow, I'll do this thing. Huh, huh, huh. No. Bum, 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 bum. I gotta be careful talking about songs. They just get stuck in my head. And then I start to try and sing them while I'm doing other stuff. My finger's sore. Good thing I didn't drop that. There was a knot. Pretty naughty. Well, I'm kind of out of things to talk about now. I can't think of anything else that I want to say. I have missed you guys. I hope you're doing well. You wondered where I've gone. I've deleted all my social media accounts because I didn't like feeling like I was performing. And I didn't like the feeling of having to keep up an image of who I was because I was expected to or thought I was expected to. It's like there's this weird psychological demon on my shoulder going, but if you say that, people will lose respect for you. And I'm just like, I just want to be me, you stupid demon on my shoulder. Shut up. Come on. There's like a wrist mount inside a wrist mount. So, like I said, I've been working on this weird little combo for months now. I don't know what to do with it, and I don't really want to compromise on it. I would like to get good at landing this and then find something to do from there. Something that looks cool, that would be fun to share with yo-yoers, with people that are initiated. That's one other thing. I don't really want to do anything like unboxings or reviews or tutorials. Like I had this, I want to create an introduction to yo-yoing video thing that's like an hour long that covers everything, like what a yo-yo is and how it works and what type you should think of getting and why you would want to get those. And like, there's already tons of that out there. Why do I feel like I need to do that? Like, a big piece of why I wasn't making content was for 2 years, I've been sitting on a rough draft, randomly setting up the camera, filming a little bit of a tutorial, thinking it sounds like crap, and deleting it over and over again. And I'd honestly just like to wait till my kids go to bed, set up the camera, and just chit chat, and then upload it, and then delete it off my phone, not think about it again, but maybe respond to comments if they show up. So I'm going to just be doing that for a while. I don't know if I'll do any live streams. Could be interesting if people were interested in it, but I mean, if I'm recording super slow-mo like I am right now and something interesting happens, I can actually clip it and slow it down and show off, or like I can go back and analyze what I've done, and I can't really do that with live stream footage because that's only 30 frames per second and this is 240. But I do have to delete it because it takes up all of my phone space. Like, I only have 21 gigabytes right now, and it's going to be gone once I get done. So when I drop out of this, it makes a knot. I should probably get that off before I am trapped. Yeah. Well, that's all I got for now. Hope you guys have been well. See you in the next one. If you want to see more of this, subscribe. You don't have to like it.